Alright, so now we're shooting part 2 of the video. We've gone ahead and accessed another building drain maintenance access point. We're about 15 feet through that. Excuse me. And then we've gone ahead and pushed 56 feet out to the connection point at public sewer. So the directional path of the line is it pretty much runs along the driveway from the back house. The front house connects up with it and then heads out to the street. The material we're pulling back into right now is a vitrified clay. Now, the vitrified clay is a very common material for main sewer lines. It has a long surface life expectancy, however, it's more susceptible to damage during earthquakes and seismic activity, and it has a tendency to let in roots of the joint areas. Now, the only section of vitrified clay in the system that is an exposed vitrified clay is this last piece located at the connection point to city sewer. I don't see any breaks in this part. I don't see any roots coming in, so that's good news. Now, basically about 6 inches away from that, we're still in the section of vitrified clay, but it's had what's known as a lining system administered. A lining system is essentially a plastic and fibrous sleeve that's run through the inside of a pipe. It's then inflated and run with a resin to harden it, and it's essentially promoted to be a rehabilitation method of older pipes. It's used for failing pipes to essentially bring them up into a newer condition. It can be used to stop things like minor root intrusions, minor surface cracks on the pipe. Now, I can't say whether this is an approved lining system or not. That's something that would have to be checked with the permits that were used and pulled for the city. However, I will comment on the condition and the work that was done to install this. Now, I will say so far that most of the liner that I looked at looks to be in pretty good shape. The only issue with it is that they essentially stopped short. The liner system should be administered all the way through the connection at city sewer. The issue with that is you have a section here of the liner, and this won't really need cleanings in the sense that you shouldn't be having roots coming through this section. However, there is a section later on in the line, that exposed clay, which at some point in the future might need cleanings or maintenance. And the regular maintenance or kind of continuous cleanings, or at least standard methods of cleaning the line, essentially have been found to have a degenerative effect upon liners. And it isn't a good idea to do regular cleanings through a lining system. So that's really more of the concern there. Now, here at 42 feet, there is a little bit of a misalignment. Not necessarily misalignment, but more of a missloping with the pipe. It is possible that some of the debris, possibly from construction, is what's occurring here. I noticed when I was running water that as the water was coming out of the end of the line, it was white, which would indicate that possibly paint was dumped down the sewer system. We'll see a little bit more of that in a minute as we're kind of going through here. There's a section here that has some rocks. Rocks are definitely a foreign object for a main sewer line. You're not supposed to have rocks in there. And there's one of the rocks there. So at this point, I mean, I will be recommending a cleaning get done, as it's not really proper that you have rocks in a main sewer line. The section where we dipped into water, that was the section that had the most. I was kind of hopping over them with the camera. And just you have a potential for causing buildup of debris in the line. Alright, so we have about, here's some more rocks there. Here's also another section. So what we're looking at there is, those are all pebbles. Again, not supposed to be in a main sewer line system. This section's got quite a lot, so it looks like somebody took it upon themselves to dump quite a bit of rocks down the system. Get a photo of that for the report. So I do recommend that a hydrojet cleaning is done. Do not try doing snaking. Hydrojet cleaning should be able to knock those rocks out of the system. So we have about another 5 feet here, and then we're going to be going under the building again into the building drain system. And this is all just still this modern ABS plastic. Excellent material. Alright. So here's the section. I'm going to give you a photograph of this. kind of orient you where we were. So that's the street. That gate over there, we were just sitting just behind that, accessing the system. So we pushed out up until this point right here. Then we went ahead and accessed this line, pushed all the way out to the connection to the city sewer. I do want to note that there is a pair of cleanouts just on the left of this side of the wall. Those are for an abandoned system. They're full of dirt. They're not draining. None of the plumbing in the house is connected to them, so they're still exposed. And those will just kind of for note. You're not going to be doing the cleanings through those points. Alright, so essentially my recommendations at this time are going to be to get the line cleared of the debris, and a very proactive solution would be get a component known as a top hat. Top hat is basically a small piece of liner that's inserted on the city connection side, and it's to basically fill that slight gap you have there of the liner all the way out to that connection, but leaving about 6 inches. So with that, we're going to be wrapping up the video portion of the examination for today. Once again, this is Victor Jimenez with Sewerline Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.